Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Let me. Oh, I need to check all the places for audio. I need to check all the. I think it's there. My audio's all screwed up. I can't hear it. But the little gauges are telling me that it is there. What's up, everybody? How are things? I had a whole thing prepped, but they canceled the Blue Box RPG stream because the Pale Lord demo is not really ready, and we had someone else that was supposed to be on the Lore Masters Arcanum stream cancel, Thomas, I think. So, so I'm just going to show you all what I had prepped and see what you think. All right, is everybody ready? Are you ready for this? It's a little, some of it might be a little complicated. And it took a little bit of tweaking. But I'm hoping that I won't need to, like, you know, resort to PowerPoint to explain what is going on. Whoa, exposure. Okay. First up, let's go look at a list of plugins. Why don't we? Man, I have so many. Okay, we'll see how this is gonna go. All right, so today's stream is about 5e. Ooh, the elf pack got more stuff. Today's stream is about kind of like 5e integration with plugins in TaleSpire, right? So first up, my group uses a system where we all have our character sheets in D&D Beyond, and we use TaleSpire to run our games, right? And that's what's just like what we do. Like, we roll the attack, and we update it on the sheets and stuff like that. So the first plugin that we're going to look at is called the DnDBeyondLink via Chrome plugin. And this plugin has a couple of components that LordAshes goes over. Component 1 is there's a Chrome extension. What's up, Paulo? There's a Chrome extension that is installed. The second component is a little server that's going to run on your computer when you start TaleSpire that is listening to stuff that's going to be sent by the Chrome extension. You with me so far? And I'll show you this examples too. The third part is TaleSpire. So you're going to have a D&D Beyond character open in the browser, and that info is going to be pushed to TaleSpire. This is plugin number 1, the DnDBeyondLink plugin, and I can show you. So here's my character. Here's the extension that is running, and right now it's failing because the server that is listening is not running. DnDBeyondLink 1.2, right? It's trying very hard to run. And I suppose I could walk folks through like how to actually get it set up, huh? So let's turn it off for now. I'm gonna remove it. Yeah, remove it. So after you go get this extension and you install it, the first thing you need to do is load the Chrome extension. It doesn't do this for you. There's no website you can go to. You can't Google. I mean, maybe you can Google it, DnDBeyondLink via Chrome extension. You're not going to find it that way. The only place for the extension is in this plugin, and it is an unpacked extension. An unpacked extension is important because it allows you to see what's going on in the extension. It's not a virus or something like that, which is important. So what we do is, and actually what I recommend is you just make a quick access link here in Windows for both your TaleSpire directory and for the profiles directory in R2Modman, because you're going to be going here a lot with a bunch of this stuff, depending on like where you're going to be putting your files to make all this work. So I'm going to go to my building profile, my plugin, BeyondLink via Chrome, and here's the extension. It is this whole directory. This whole directory here. What I will say, in my troubleshooting, what I have found is that when you, after you get the, and LordAshes will probably do an update that fixes this, but what you'll need to do is in this manifest.json file, it's going to say, I'm looking for these URLs. These are the URLs for which I'm going to capture data and ship it to our little server that's listening, right? So the one that comes with the manifest won't work. It's, well, it'll work for, hey, what's up, Biggie Paw? The one that comes with it is going to have something like this, like profiles or something like that, and then it has characters. The trouble with this is that it's the wrong URL for characters you do not own, right? So for example, I'm in a campaign with a friend of mine. Excuse me, geez. See the URL here? D&D Beyond, profile, characters, right? Out of the box, that will work with the plugin. What will not work out of the box is this. See, D&D Beyond characters thing. The profiles is not there. So what you will need to do prior to LordAshes fixing it is to update this matches URL to just not have profiles. Don't have profiles. Just remove it and change it with star characters /star. And now the extension will ship any characters from D&D Beyond to our little server. Anyway, so we're gonna go there. I removed that extension, so load unpacked. I'm gonna paste in our directory here, and it's this whole directory right there. I've been good, Biggie Paw. I've been killing myself trying to get this to work. And then the stream was canceled today, so you all are getting a demo of my 5e plugin stuff. Well, it's not it's like a demo of what LordAshes has done, really. So that, and well, we'll talk about the map publishing, I guess, when I'm done with all this plugin shenanigans. Anyway, so now I have installed the extension. And if you look, you're going to see a lot of this blah, blah, blah failed because it's trying to send this data, but it can't because the server's not there. Or it should try anyway. Same with Sid. See, connection failed, connection failed, connection failed. Right, and then we should have some connection failed here too. So the extension's trying to ship the data, but it can't. Well, I mean, it can, but there's nothing listening to it now. So now we have our characters trying to be shipped. At this point, I would actually recommend running the server manually, and the server is what's going to be making the updates to TaleSpire. And the reasoning behind all this, and you may or may not be bored by this, is there's two ways for these updates to happen. There's two ways. One is through the TaleSpire UI. Right, so through the UI, you know, we select a token and we update a stat, or through the UI, we do all these things. And the trouble with that is it's going to lag. And so the first iteration of this Beyond server link, that's what it did, and it lagged. And so this is actually the second version of it with this Chrome extension. So with the Chrome extension, it's going to speak to a little server. So I'm going to go ahead and run the little server by itself in what's called learning mode. Actually, I'll do it with admin. Excuse me. So what happens with the server? When the Chrome extension sends the information to the server is going to make a bunch of files. And those are the files that once we get into TaleSpire, it's going to use to update information. Hello? Where am I? And so these files are going to be in this custom data folder. See, these are all my characters, right? So what I'm going to do is delete them all. Hopefully it doesn't fucking break anything. So I'm going to delete them all. So these are the files that there's another plugin and we'll get there, that's going to use to make a bunch of roles and to update stuff. And these files are only updated when TaleSpire is first launched. So if you change anything that is associated with these files, it's not going to kick in, other than like I think hit points and a couple other things. So we're going to go ahead and run the server BeyondLink server 3333, and I have changed my port number. The default port is 98 or 9100, and I was running into conflicts with that, and so I changed my port number for that. So now I started the server. This page, which has been trying desperately to speak with the server, just fired up. Oh, Sid has an invalid character in the name. I forgot about that. Where are my notes? Okay, also, invalid character names caused a failure. Like quotes. Okay, so let me find a different character that I do not own. I think Edwin is who I was using. Edwin, view the character. So now if I open up Edwin, it should pick him up. There we go, Edwin. Picked him up. Oh, and actually, oh shit. I have all my other characters open in another tab over here, so it probably just picked them all up. It picked up Hubert, it picked up Ramres, it picked up Bobard, Saunders. All the characters from the Blue Box RPG charity stream got picked up. So now if we look back in here, all of our character files have populated again. And for each stat, there's a file, right? There's a file for armor class, totals, used, current, max, level, moved. Some of these are used and some of these are not used right now. But it collects a whole bunch of data and chucks it into these files. I like to do this ahead of time because if I need to iterate on anything, I don't have to restart TaleSpire every fucking time. So we've run our local server manually. We turned on our extension, so communication's happening. So now I'm going to go ahead and close the server. Might as well just minimize it. Now, let's go ahead and fire up TaleSpire, and I'll show you exactly what that has done. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to slow down. I'm just kind of yammering through all the notes and stuff that I've kind of collected in my head the last little bit. And we should see here, it should pick up data at some point, eventually. Get better. There it went. Whoop, as soon as I click away, of course. So it found everybody, it's loaded everything. If I open my board, you were a player called Wolf, or character rather. Well, we'll get in it with the 5e macro, but there is stuff where like your character names have like a conflict. Player called Wolf. So here are our tokens. These tokens have been named with our characters as they appear in D&D Beyond. Saunders, Bobard, Hubert, Locke, Ramres, and actually I don't have one for John. We could create one for John if we want to. Any wolves dropped in would probably be a hobby of the character sheet, right? They must be unique. The names must be unique. Actually, what would happen is you would have multiple characters all with his stats, is what would happen. So, if we look, we've got hit points. If we look, we've got stats, AC, hit points, and move, which actually I think I'm going to change. And then we have other stats that aren't used yet here. Really, the important bit is if I have Saunders here, and actually if I get the thing, watch. So here's Saunder. We're checking him out. If I change Saunders' hit points, 1, 2, 3, 4, boop. Bam, it's changed to 40 and it's changed in TaleSpire. So is that how you create characters for TaleSpire? I use D&D Beyond, personally. Because, I mean, we play mostly 5e. So, if I change his hit points back, right, hit points are changed, things like that. D&D Beyond is the authoritative source for this information. Also, like short rest, you have to open this panel for it to pick up the short rest hit die. Change to 9. I don't know why it's changed. Well, his hit die is 9. Hit die total. Why is it 9 when it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It should be 5. I'm curious about that. That number's not right. Huh. If we go down here, we go to stats, we go to his hit die. Oh, HD hit die is 4 out of 5. HD hit die is 4 out of 5. Is it looking at, is it considering this checkbox here? That might be a bug. I don't know why it thinks his hit die total should be 9 when it should be 5. If I take a short rest, now what happens? Hit die used changed to 5. Hit die used changed to 5. Hit die 5 out of 5. I'm not really certain what that calculation thinks it's doing, but it's wrong. If I take a long rest. Huh. It thinks I've used 4 hit die or some weird... Okay, anyway, so that part is a little wonky, it looks like. But the important part is if you change your hit points here, it's going to change it in TaleSpire. I don't think it works the same for other things. I could be wrong, though. Like, if I change my... ability strength change +2 say... Okay, so it does change this stuff in real time. That's interesting. Skill athletics change to 5. Changes... Okay, so this will actually work with like stat drains and things like that. Hey McCabe, thanks for stopping in. Good to see ya. So, some changes made in D&D Beyond do make their way to TaleSpire, which is really nice, which will make more sense when I'm talking about the next plugin. So, that wraps up the Beyond link. Stuff in D&D Beyond getting pushed to TaleSpire. Now, there's the next plugin that I'd like to talk about, and it is called the Dice Selection plugin. The Dice Selection plugin, if you have files populated like this for your character, the dice selection plugin, it's like DSM, it creates like a DSM database. Actually, so if you look at each character, they should have their own DSM. Okay, so Balbard DSM, right? If I open their DiceSelectionManager file, DSM for a character, it's going to have a bunch of stuff in it. And so we can have a custom one here, which is, so we have proficiency, 1d20 plus 3 or whatever. I don't know, can I add stuff to it without like breaking it? What if I add to, well, I'll probably have to restart TaleSpire for this to kick in. But the DiceSelectionManager plugin allows you to create custom dice selections for your characters. So let's go look up the dice selection plugin real quick. I only really know this in context of the DnDBeyondLink plugin. You're a little busy, music. Okay, so the dice selection plugin, we can do like combinations of stuff. We could do like 1d10 plus 1d4, whatever. No character selected. The 5 dice, the default roll macros will be displayed. Clicking any of the menu selection will load those dice into... Okay, I don't know what? Maybe I shouldn't get too deep into this. For the context of what I'm working on, and what I really care about, is that when you run the DnDBeyondLink, it's going to load all of these dice selection stuff for these characters, which allows you to do things like, if I click Sanders and I hit Control D, it's going to open this menu that's been pre-populated with stuff from D&D Beyond. Okay, so I want to roll initiative. I just click it. I guess. I don't know. Wait, what was that about? I guess I can roll that. That was odd. Control D. I want to roll performance. There we go. 1d20 plus 1. I don't know why I got like a... Maybe I accidentally hit the custom one. So Romris, I want to roll performance, a d20 plus 4. I just click it, and then I can roll it. Right? By Romris, and I want to do, you know, a strength check or survival roll, I can just click it. Pre-populated. There are limitations here. For example, if I had advantage on perception checks, not reflected. So these, the current tools are not great at rolls and situations that change on the fly. So if you have advantage or disadvantage or your stats change a lot, for me it's a problem because my character rages. And so I would really like there to be, you know, a differentiation between like when I'm raging and when I'm not raging, or being able to tweak stuff. But this should get you pretty far with the basics, like your base acrobatics. You know, if I know, okay, I'm raging, I have +2 to this, or I have advantage on this. You know what I mean? Actually, I wonder if I can, if I do this and I do athletics, like strength save, can I add another d20 to it? No, I can't. I had to try it out. But this getting pre-populated in TaleSpire, not having to go over to D&D Beyond, not having to do any of that stuff, honestly, not even having to use the Beyond the Spire extension where I roll over there and the roll pops up in TaleSpire is kind of nice. Again, not perfect, but this is only like the second generation of these plugins. Okay, so that was the D&D Beyond link and the dice selection macros. The dice selection plugins. The last one that I want to go over is the 5e macros plugin. The 5e macros plugin allows you to do some pretty specific 5e stuff, but it does require a local file that you must create. And so what I've done is, I can probably close all these and show you how to get there, right? Here we go, here we go, here we go. In my local TaleSpire directory, there's a custom data folder. And in that, I have created my D&D 5e files for my characters. Well, for a couple of characters anyway. Communities, TaleSpire, and then if I do 5e, D&D 5e macros plugin. So with this, you create a file and you're going to define some stuff in it. Mainly attacks, skills, and if you have resistances. That's about what it does right now. And, you know, it'll get you pretty far. So with Romris, here's what I've got. He's got a short bow. Here's kind of what it does. Here's the dagger. Here's the damage that does. And he's got some skills. He has stealth. It's going to announce publicly that he's rolling stealth, but actually it's going to roll it in secret. So only the DM, I think only the DM knows what the actual roll is. Same with sleight of hand. And actually sleight of hand is an opposed roll. So it'll automatically, there's a couple of rolls that it already knows about. Like it knows that sleight of hand is versus like perception. And so if the thing that you are rolling against has a perception stat, like, okay, here's my Bat Soul of Selenka Pass, right? It has a skill that is perception. It has a really shitty perception, and it's supposed to roll with advantage. Excuse me. But it has a blank roll here. I wonder if that will probably break shit. I can find out. So the 5e macros will allow you to quickly set up attacks that will take into account the statistics of something else. Assuming you're doing an attack or something that actually is like an opposed thing. You can also just click your character and just like roll perception, like not against anything, just like do it for yourself. And so what will happen is, right now, my Bat has a sheet. Romris has a sheet. If I select my Bat, actually my chat message is open, and my Bat is going to attack Saunders. Because he has a 5e macro sheet, he's got these two options. He's got skills and he's got attacks here. So if I choose a skill, here, I got a save set up too. Oops, deck save. So deck saves are secret. So that's what a secret message looks like. It doesn't show up in the log. Let's just attack him with my beak. So a beak, 22, right? No resolution on that because Sanders does not have a 5e macro sheet. If I do the same attack to Romris, it's going to say what happened. We got a critical. It's going to show my damage. And the receiving character, oh my god, that's a fucking lot of damage. Times 2, crit times 2. Ooh, baby, that was a lot of damage. So first off, it rolls to hit. We know that it's a hit. Romris announces his AC of 18. We do 49 damage. This is what players see. The DM sees this, like the actual specifics of the roll. Then Romris just announces that he receives the damage. And then, like, what's up? He's unconscious and dying because he went to fucking 0. And you should notice at this point, because DnDBeyondLink is active, it is updating Romris's hit points from what is in D&D Beyond, and it considers D&D Beyond to be the authoritative source for information. So even though this thing attacked and reduced his hit points to 0, D&D Beyond very quickly was like, oh hey, looks like Romris's hit points aren't right. Oh shit, what happened? Oh, this is my... Where is it? Here it is. So see right here? It set Romris's hit points back to what it was. Because that's what's in D&D Beyond. Hey, what's up, Klein? So also what I've set up is this Talon attack. Whoops. So I have a Talon attack here. If I do the Talon attack, it's actually going to roll to hit, and then it's going to announce that there should be a grapple check here. So it rolls to hit, it hits, it does damage, the DM gets to see like what the damage is. And all attacks right now have to have damage, so even though it's like a grapple DC, I just put in 0 damage just to remind everybody, okay, you know, Romris needs to roll, Romris needs to roll a grapple check. And so at this point, he would probably, can I roll opposed athletics? Is that a thing? I don't think so. So I would click on Romris, I would go to skills, I find my athletics, if I've got one, athletics. So he rolls a 4, and then I go over to my beastie here, and it's also going to roll athletics, which is very, very good. It's secret. It's a secret roll. And so Bat got a 23. Romris rolled a 4, so he's grappled now. And so whatever, you know, you do whatever you want to do to announce his condition. Actually, do I might have icons: shocked, poisoned, invisible, hexed, hasted, frozen, exhausted, disadvantage, bless. So there's not anything in there by default. I could probably hunt around for it, I'm sure. Status, knockdown. Okay. Oh, this is an official TaleSpire one. Things to note about the 5e macros. When you're making your sheet, make sure that your D's are all capitalized. Roll results will only display for tokens with character sheet files too. That I kind of explained. Blank attack roll strings will cause a failure. This is more of just like setting up your files. And it basically says if you try to do something and nothing happens, go look at this log file. I am not doing the coding work. This is all these plugins that I'm talking about right now are done by LordAshes, all 3 of them. So this is dice selection. This is, what all did I go through? This is the DnDBeyondLink with Chrome extension. And oh my god, could I take a less efficient way to get this shit? And then the 5e macros plugin. So these are the three. Klein, even if you don't want to do, if you don't want to get the D&D Beyond stuff, you can get a lot of mileage out of the D&D 5e macros plugin. What you will need to do in conjunction with that, though, is make sure that you have these statistics, HD, AC, and moves, for your campaign, because it's going to use this AC right here. I mean, this is the most important one, is have AC on one of your stats, because otherwise, when it rolls to attack someone else, it won't know what AC to use, and you won't get your results. So, like, if I have the bat attack lock, it's just going to beak him and tell me what it rolled. But if I attack someone who also has a file, it's going to do this whole like, hey, he got hit, and then here's the damage, and then he's like, I took the damage. God damn, it's a lot of damage. So you can get a bunch of use out of just the 5e macros plugin. And then I really like, man, I like this one, the dice selector plugin too. And so everyone is aware, LordAshes is working on the next revision of the 5e macros. So a video for that I think is available. Let me see here. Where is it? Oh, it's clips and highlights. I keep losing it. Clips and highlights. So the next version of the 5e macros plugin is going to have this dice cam thing. Watch this. Because the big problem with what it does now is you don't actually get to see the dice roll. But he added this where there's like a dice camera. What do you think of that? And if you roll a lot of dice, it'll even zoom out to try to see them all. Where to go? Watch. So short sword plus sneak. Here's his short sword damage, and then here's his sneak attack damage. So this will be in the next revision of it. Will the full party need the macros or just the DM? I think it depends on. I'm trying to think. So what's nice about this one, the Beyond Link via Chrome, is that only one person needs to be running that one, right? So myself as the DM, I could be running that, and just like I do over here, I have everybody's tabs open, right? So I would just have a tab open for everybody's character, and it would synchronize hit points and stuff on the board. And so if I wanted to know someone's hit points, I don't have to go look at their tab in fucking D&D Beyond. I can just do this. He's got 44 hit points. He's got 49 hit points. Okay, let me update Hubert's hit points. Hubert takes some damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Wait a second. And Hubert will get synchronized at some point. There it went. Hubert got changed to 28. Oh, am I clicking? Fuck, which one's Hubert? Oh, that's Locke. Oh, I have Hubert. There we go. So this way, as the DM, the players can manage their hit points on their character sheets, and I just can look here for it. I don't have to tab out to go see what their stats are. And similarly, I don't know that I can make them make rolls without them seeing it. Can I do that? Can I do like a secret? Well, are his skills fucked up? Oh no, I've got him selected. Skills, stealth. So he would know that. So a private roll like that, the character knows that they rolled stealth, but they might not know what their roll is. Like only the GM knows with a secret roll like that. So the GM sees this, the character just sees stealth. But anyway, to your question, for the Beyond Link, only the GM has to have it, or only one person has to have it going. For the dice selection, the player, if the player wants to use that, then they would have to have the plugin installed. It's like a fucking convenience thing. So like if I'm using Romris, it's just quick access to this, 1d20 plus 2. You know what I mean? If no one else has that plugin installed, they're just going to see this. They're going to see 9 plus 2 rolled initiative for 11. If a player doesn't want the convenience, then they don't need to have that plugin installed. For 5e macros, I don't know. I don't know what happens if someone doesn't have the plugin. What happens? I bet if I have the 5e macros installed, I can click my character, and I can say, I'm going to short bow attack the bat, and it will do all this shit. Where it's like, attack, miss, it'll apply damage, blah, 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 right? If the player does not have it installed, then they just can't do that. Hey, Alex Assassin. This is TaleSpire, and I'm going over some 5e mods for it. Some unofficial 5th edition D&D mods. What else is there to fucking say? What else is there to say? Here's my proposed tech stack. Right? Here's my proposed tech stack. Here's how I would use this. Let me think real quick. So what's my AC? What are my stats here? AC 10. So I would use 5e macros for monsters, really. You know, if I go to DnDBeyond.com and I go to tools and I do encounter builder, I think I base this thing after a rock, which is AC 15. So I change this thing's stats to 15 and 15. I think that's the important one. So now when Romulus attacks, it should roll against the AC 14. Miss. Did it say what his AC was? No, it didn't. 7 plus 4. Oh, it updates when you start TaleSpire. So see how it's not announcing what its AC is? But it's not telling me. It's 16 plus 2. It's 14. It's not telling me, it's not announcing what its armor class is, which is interesting. I don't know why it's not doing that. Maybe because it doesn't have an HD file? I don't know. So what we will do is let's look up some, just like some bats. Giant bats? Giant bat. Giant bat. Might not be able to see that. Let's zoom in. So here's what I will do. Here is my bat soul of Slinka.DD5e. So say I want to create a new one that's giant bat. Okay, so this giant bat is going to have a couple of attacks. Let's see what all it has in here. It's got a bite. Very simple. Bite. Melee. 1d20 plus 4. And it does a d6 plus 2. And that's all of its attacks. Very simple. It has some skills, I'm assuming. Nope. Passive perception of 11. So we'll just say that it's dexterity, it's gonna have plus 3 to its stealth. Its perception is not very fucking perceptive. Passive perception plus is 11. So I'm gonna say plus 1. It's wisdom, right? Plus 1. Okay. And if its athletics is plus 2. And then I would maybe update its strength saving throws here, or its saving throws. So dex save is 3. Con save is 0. 0. Int save. Oh, is definitely still minus 4. Wiz is plus 1. Charisma minus 2. Okay. And it has no immunities and no resistances. So now anything named Giant Bat should theoretically inherit all of this stuff, right? Giant Bat. There's Bat Soul of Slinka, and then we've got our new Giant Bat. We save it. Our file is in our custom data folder. And I guess we'll fire it up and pray. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Looking forward to trying these out when I get back from my work trip. Yeah. As I said, LordAshes is currently doing another revision on the 5e macros. So by the time you get back, there might be even like newer, better stuff. And this I have been tweaking for this stuff for like 3 or 4 days to get it figured out. So now, what I'm going to do is add a couple of bats. Here we go. And we'll test this out. Rename. Wait. Giant bat. It'd be nice if I could copy these. Oh, actually, what's its AC? Giant bat AC, 13. I don't know. I think this will work still. I don't know, honestly. AC 13, 13. I don't know that that's gonna work. I don't really know where you set the armor class for things that don't have like HD, the D&D Beyond files. It's pretty sweet. I mean, it's come a long, long way in the last couple weeks. So now, okay, I have skills. Excellent. Athletics. Okay, so secret athletics, because it's an NPC. Now I'm just wondering about its, oh, how many hit points do they have anyway? 22? Damn. Okay. I'm a little confused as to where, if it actually like uses the AC stat. Because I had Romers attack it and it didn't seem to, it didn't announce what its armor class was, right? So shortbow miss. Okay, but it doesn't tell me what it thinks its armor class is. What the fuck? Is that right? 1,000 bits? What the hell, Tog? Seriously? Thanks. I appreciate it. Definitely let me know if you need help. I will help you. Okay, so shortbow hit AC 10 and it missed. Let's just like keep rolling until I hit. Dude, crit Romrus, please. 21 hit. So its AC definitely is what its stat says. And actually, what is a rock's hit points? Right, rock. That's what I was basing it off of. Rock. The bird. The fuck? Did it not? R-O-C. Oh, Draco Lich? Here we go. Rock. How many points does it have? 248. 248 hit points. 248. So it did honor the armor class in its statistics, but it did not announce its armor class like anywhere, which I think it should be fine. It's weird because when I have it attack Romrus is like, you hit my AC, so you hit AC 18, it got a 20, 36 damage, fucking lays them out in one hit. See ya. So now let's try the little bats. We have a bite. AC, missed AC, okay. So far so good, it hasn't crashed or anything. Come on, hit. Whoa, jeez. I guess Romulus does have quite the fucking AC. So look, it hit him, it inflicts 3 damage, and Romulus receives 3 damage. So, victory! Here's how I'm gonna use this Tog. I'm just gonna make these little JSON files for monsters, and I'm probably gonna publish an asset pack, a plugin pack that is just JSON files of a bunch of fucking monsters, as best as I can make them, right? Like, we're very limited. like for example, saving throws are listed as skills. Right now you can only have attacks and skills. And I mean, it took me like 2 seconds to create this, right? Like, there are some things we're gonna need. We need the ability to identify that a roll has advantage. And there are so many different customizations to monsters that I don't know that will be able to capture everything, right? If we can have it say, what can we do here? Like notes? So for example, we have a rock. It has keen sight. How would you represent that in TaleSpire? I guess it just has advantage on wisdom perception checks. Wisdom perception checks that rely on sight, you know what I mean? So you might have something like underneath perception, or if you have, if there are attacks, skills, immunities, resistances, and then maybe like features, and you can just write in whatever you want. You know, feature keen sight. But maybe that's not necessary. Maybe that's too far. All I really need as a DM is when Bromris attacks my bat with his short bow, and he hits it and does 3 damage, this thing receives 3 damage, and you know what? Its fucking hit points went down by 3. Hey, Talmaru, what's up? Thank you very much for the raid. What were you playing? Elion? Elion, what is it? Elion. Talmaru, thank you very much. So this is where the powerhouse of this macro is for me. I have an army of little minions out there, and when someone attacks them, have it automatically reduce their hit points so I don't have to bother. And when I have something attack, I have the attacks listed out in a way that I don't have to, like, you know, refer to D&D Beyond every single time. Maybe sometimes, but not every single time. And if I needed to make a wisdom save, I'll just do that and roll a wisdom save. Natural fucking 20. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, welcome, Talmaru. For those of you who don't know what's going on, this is TaleSpire. I am Demon Gunned, and I'm just reviewing some 5e integration plugins. But I think we're pretty much done with that. I think we're pretty much done with that. My final note was just, I'm going to use the 5e macro stuff for NPCs and monsters and things. And the players will use the D&D Beyond link in order to populate their their super easy dice selector thing right here. And you know what? The players who don't want to use that don't fucking have to. They just don't have to, right? Because I'm going to have it running on my side because I want to see their hit points. When they update their cute little hit points at D&D Beyond, I want to be able to see it in here without having to alt-tab and look at their character and do all that stupid crap. I just don't want to have to. So, yeah, so the player's responsibility will be keeping their characters updated at D&D Beyond, and that's it. They don't have to worry about anything else. I'll handle everything else, and it's pretty easy too. I will probably create D&D. Excuse me. I will probably create. Will I create macro files for them? I think I'll have to. They have to have a macro file for the result to go through. Right? Yeah, because I can't have it reduce their hit points if they don't have a D&D. Well, I'll have to think about it. I'll think about it. I still think even if we're not worried about the hit points being reduced and all that stuff, it's still easier, I think, for me. He goes here, he attacks. Bite, okay. Oh, it's not going to tell me what the damage is. Yeah, that's annoying. At least it tells me what... I don't have to, like, grab a die and roll it every time. I can just, like, click, click. And that's... we can get into that, too. Like, how fun is rolling die? Rolling dice for players, I think is super, super fun. Sometimes rolling dice for the GM is really, really fun, too, like on big bats. But if I have 10 of these fucking bats, and I just want to be like, you're attacking you, you're biting you. How'd it go? Missed. Okay. You're gonna bite you. Okay, how'd it go? Right? Nice. Okay, you're biting you. How'd it go? Bite. And this one I actually get some information, right? So that sort of like bing, 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 that is gonna speed up combat so much. But then again, if I'm like, okay, I want to roll the actual attack of this thing. I want to roll my 3d20 plus, you know, I just want to do it. I still have that option. Actually, Beyond the Spire, can I run Beyond the Spire at the same time? I don't know. Can I don't think I can run Beyond the Spire at the same time, can I? I bet it'll break fucking everything. Where is it? I'm gonna try enabling Beyond the Spire. Beyond 20, Beyond the Spire. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Now I'm gonna try and roll the rock. Let's see if this works here. Can I do this? Oh, it still works. So I can still use this if I like want to roll the die for a monster. Or maybe if I don't have that monster set up or something. It's rolled an 18. Like I can still roll like the damage here. Yeah, cool. Okay. So that's good. That's good that not all of it is in conflict. All right. Any last questions about 5e plugins or TaleSpire plugins before I transition to something different? I'll give you 2 bites of my bar. All right, time's up. Time is up. Now we're going to transition slightly. In case folks were not aware, Tsalinka Pass has been published for patrons. So the Tsalinka Pass board, this board that we're looking at right now, has been published to Patreon. It includes, excuse me, Jesus. It includes pre-ready tokens with statistics and stuff. Look at them all. They are beautiful. Yes. Additionally, to go along with this, we have produced a Tsalinka Pass encounter board. Oh shit, I didn't add it here. Well, we should do that. Forgot about that. Oh. Okay. Is it a post or a page? Okay, so we need our post first. Actually, no, we don't. Go to our page. It is our random encounter board page, I think. It shouldn't be called that anymore. And here should be Solenka Pass Encounters. Tier 2 and 3. We're going to add a link. Hello? Add a link to Solenka. Come on. Solenka Pass. Here we go. Game ready. Yes. And I think we change it to a header. Yep. Update. New page. Okay, so we have created the Solenka Pass encounter encounter chart. Yes, Tog. All those plugins are by LordAshes. And I asked him, like, how do you want me to do a shout out for this kind of stuff? And he doesn't have a Patreon, he doesn't have a website or anything. He just hopes that I need to turn off comments. Why on earth would I have comments here? Edit post. Sorry. Do not allow comments. People are toxic, man. Okay. Forgot what I was gonna say. New post. So yes, all those are by LordAshes. I asked where he wanted to do a shout out, and he didn't. He said that just if people are using it, like but that makes him feel good. Okay. So yeah, there's tier 2 and tier 3 encounters. All of these have their associated D&D Beyond monsters referenced for quick access. So it's Solenka Pass published. Additionally, at Tales Tavern, no doubt, we have published our Babala Saga for everybody's, and this is free at Tales Tavern because of, I mean, really the level of contributions from other folks. I mean, it's Genghis's Swamp Board that I modified, and Brother Hannon was super gracious in designing this upside down giant's skull, which is probably harder to do than the whole thing that I built. And Astalri did these screenshots too. I probably should have done a screenshot of the actual board itself, which I kind of forgot to do. What else? So Solenka Pass published, and I can finally stop worrying about it. Babala Saga is published. I can finally stop worrying about it. Which, oops, that does leave us with one thing left. One thing left. You know what that is? Oh boy. What time is it? 3 o'clock. That leaves us with... Oh, Amber Temple. How are you? How are you, Amber Temple? It's been forever. What are we doing down here? Doing some cleanup? Oh, okay. We had a little bit of a, what are you, dude? We had a little bit of a hiatus while we finished, Solenka Pass and all that other stuff and tested out those plugins. Dude, I've been working on those plugins for like 3 days. Have a good one, Klein. Thanks for stopping in. I moved all this stuff out of the way so I could clean it up. So now... Oh shit, I didn't do the front. Oh man, I don't know if that... Am I up for that right now? Oh, Hondollar's in here right now, actually. I shouldn't be doing shit if he's in here. Is he on the, he's on this board too. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this while he's here. We might just call it at that. Well, take it easy, Tog. Actually, I love you all, folks, but having done that, Heimdaller's in here. It's 3 o'clock and I have other stuff to do. I think that was just a really, you know, a really short couple hour blast through, or not a couple hour, like hour and 15 minutes. A blast through of the current plugin situation. And today, what day is today? Is today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. So Thursday, we should be back to the Amber Temple. It looks like I need to do the front, and I need to figure out something down there to do with the big statues and stuff. Oh, I need to reach out to Brother Hannon and see if he can do a giant statue for us. But yeah. Right on. Man, I'm so excited for these 5e plugins. They're so fucking good. They're so good. I can't wait to see what LordAshes does in the next one. Oh, it's gilletized. Oh, it's a rerun. Where's a non-rerun? Non-rerun. Nobody. Nobody. Was it just me? It was just me this afternoon? Captain Robert's live. Okay. We could raid Captain Robert. I don't think I've ever raided them before. They probably have no idea who the fuck I am. But I know who they are because he runs paid games and I am curious about that sort of thing. So, raid Captain Robert. Raid Captain Robert. There we go. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you really liked the plugins. If you have any other questions about them, hit me up on Discord for sure. I love talking about this stuff, so definitely shoot me a message in there. There's lots of people in there that'll answer your questions too. With that, I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be on to Amber Temple, and we're going to publish Amber Temple by Halloween. So I will need all your love and support. I'll need all your love and support to get that shit done, because that's going to be difficult. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Take care.
Okay. Let's roll that general perception. Let's see what I've seen. 18. Seen Marceau probably jump out in the clown car.